Welcome to Access Training Lesson 11. In the lesson today, we're going to review the process of creating a query. We're going to be adding a field to the query. So what I mean by this is we already got our query done, but now we want to add a field to it that we forgot to add. Then we're going to move a field position in the query. So after we add that field, we don't want it to be where it's showing up, so we're going to move it so it shows up in a different area of the query when we run it. And then we're going to be updating the query so that it creates a table query. Alright, so we're going to begin looking at lesson 11 database that we created, and we're going to then go over to create. So we're going to click on create query. Oh, we don't want to do the wizard. We're just going to create a query design, and we're going to take two tables. We're going to do the customer table, so we're going to click over there and we're going to add the table, and then we're going to do the loan table. Now remember, in earlier lessons we joined these tables together so you can see their connection. So what we're going to do is we want to take information from each table. So the first thing we're going to do is customer ID, so we're going to double click it, and we double click it, it's going to show up down here in our query, and then we're going to do first name, and then we're going to do loan ID, so we're going to come over and get loan ID, and we're going to do loan type, and we're going to do loan description. Alright, and we're just going to come over real quick and do city, and then loan amount, and we'll scroll down to see if there's anything else we want. Now we don't want loan date, but over here we want to scroll down and get the phone number and email address, but we're going to do email address first and then phone number. So we got the fields in here that we want, so we're going to view it. So we just run this right here, and you're going to see we have customer ID, we got first name, but we forgot last name. Look at that, we forgot last name. We have the loan ID, the loan description, the loan amount, the email address, and the phone. So it doesn't matter what order the fields are in the database, that we can move those fields around in our query. And we can join the two together and also move them in between fields. So what I mean by that is, okay, we got customer ID and first name, which are both from the customer table. Then we have loan ID, loan description, loan amount, which are from the loan table, right? And then we go back to the customer table and we do a email and we do a phone. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back into, because we forgot last name, right? We're going to go to SQL view. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. Shoot. We wanted design view. Alright, and we're going to add last name. So we'll add the last name. But notice that when we add the last name, it puts it all the way here. And we don't want that. We want to move it after first name. So I can highlight that, and the same thing with loan amount. Say I want that before after phone number. Alright, so I was able to move these around as I want. I can view them. And we got customer ID, first name, last name, loan ID, loan description, email, phone, and loan amount. Alright, so we have all that information in our query now. But what we want to do is we want to go a little bit more advanced with this, and we're going to take this query and we're going to turn it into a make table query. Alright, and we do that by coming in here and making table, and we give it a name. So we're going to say loan info, And we're not going to put no space in there because we don't like spaces in our names. So we'll get rid of that. And notice it says current database. We could add this to another database. So if we have another database that we want to move this information into, we can create the table and put it into another database, another table. All right, so we're going to go ahead and tell this OK. And nothing will happen until we run it. So we're going to hit run. And it says you're about to paste 11 rows into a new table. We'll say yes. And if we look over here, we now have one called loan info. We'll double click it. And you'll see that all the information that normally comes up on the query screen is now in a database, in its own database. All right, so that's going to be the end of this lesson. All right, and we're going to next lesson work with Excel spreadsheets and importing them into a Access database.